Hey guys, Eric and Joey here, providing you with a little Rewind Theater trailer commentary for the teaser trailer to The Amazing Spider-Man.
I think the thing you'll notice right off the bat is that it has a completely different tone than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films did.
Yeah, much darker tone.
Yeah, and here you see Richard and Mary Parker, who were never introduced in the other films, so those are Peter's parents.
Yeah, and it's funny because in the comics, they were actually retconned into the origin story and described to be secret agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who actually died in the line of duty, hence Peter staying with his aunt and uncle.
Yeah, and there looks to be something similar to that in play here that we'll see later on.
I really hope so because even though Spider-Man belongs to Sony Pictures, which isn't part of the Marvel movie universe proper,
Right.
if they introduce S.H.I.E.L.D., even in a kind of wink-wink, nudge-nudge way, at least it connects it up with the other films that we like.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to scroll back real quick to this dinner table shot here. Why don't you tell us who's sitting at the table, at least the three main ones, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's Peter Parker, obviously, Gwen Stacy, and her father, Captain Stacy, played by Dennis Leary.
And then the next shot that we're going to stop at, it's another dinner table scene here. But it's interesting because if you see, Peter's got a black eye. And
Yeah.
we don't know if that's because he was bullied at school or maybe it's a post-Spider-Man transformation like battle scar.
It could be from Flash Thompson also.
It's true.
And
And here's, who are these folks, Joey?
that, of course, is the iconic Uncle Ben and Aunt May, played
Uh,
by Sally Field and Martin Sheen.
And Sally Field is looking very Aunt May, I must say.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And so here we see Peter opening what was his father's briefcase, which actually has
Yeah, let's stop on that real
the
quick.
conspiracy thing we were talking about earlier. Up in the corner by Peter's left hand, you can see an Oscorp ID badge.
And then we're thinking that down below, this photo kind of in the right corner is his dad, and we're thinking it might be Dr. Kurt Connors, right?
Could be Dr. Connors, could be Uncle Ben. It's very hard to see, but I think one thing that is clear is that Oscorp does play into the story in some way.
And there's one more element. I don't know if this is just a tag for the briefcase, but that white like badge with the red kind of cross-out symbols.
Yeah.
We don't get a clear shot of it other than this, but that could be something tying into the conspiracy as well.
And that is our first shot of the Oscorp building, where Gwen appears to be an intern or maybe some sort of low-level employee.
And I'm stopping here because, again, our first shot in the trailer of Reese Ifence, I hope I'm saying his name right, as Dr. Kurt Connors.
Yep. And this, of course, is the pivotal moment for the Spider-Man origin when there he is, the radioactive spider. We don't know if he's technically radioactive, but something spider is going to bite Peter Parker and give him his spider powers.
Yeah, we were just commenting off mic, if you will, how the core of the origin story is always the same, whether it's in comics or movies or TV shows, but how it happens is a little different. Here, it's taking place at Oscorp, and it looks like they're conducting some sort of experiment on spider's webs.
Yeah, and you had an interesting comment saying it's interesting that we'll see how Peter Parker actually sneaks into this priority access area.
Exactly. We're going to stop on a particularly gross shot in the trailer here.
So there's the what we assume is the spider bite. Coming out of it, it looks like a web, which is interesting because we know he has mechanical web shooters. So I'm not sure what that signifies, but we do know that it's gross.
Obviously tied into his powers here. We saw this kind of in the Raimi film too. Kind of a really disoriented Parker just running around the city playing and testing his new powers out. I'm going to scroll back right here. Because this is Dr. Kurt Connors.
Right.
We see he's only got his one arm here. And if you take a look at the door here on the left, it reads Bioreactor Mix Facility. I think it says Chemical and Biofusion Growth Strata.
Yep. So as we know, Dr. Kurt Connors becomes a lizard by experimenting with lizard genes to regrow his arm. And obviously it goes totally wrong. So we're assuming that's where that happens.
Exactly. And then this shot here, I'm just going to move back a little bit. It's a great shot of Peter actually sewing his costume.
Yes, he is a thread master.
And we have a couple of like photos in the background. We're guessing that photo on his monitor, again, it's not a clear shot, but that might be his dad maybe?
Yep, could be his dad. And also there's that wanted poster right above. If you had seen the press photos released, there was a picture of Peter in sort of like a proto-Spider-Man outfit where he was wearing sunglasses. So that could be a wanted poster for him or the person that ultimately shoots Uncle Ben.
And then we're just stopping here because this is literally a flash cut in the trailer, and it's just
Yep.
Peter Parker in his Spidey costume sitting on the ground in his room, very contemplative. So.
It's like maybe it's his first night on patrol.
As you pointed out, he's a great sewer.
Yes, he is.
So this portion of the trailer is basically first person kind of spider slinging through the city.
It's very, very interesting. It's very resembling the video game Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, we've actually got a video on the site that puts the two next to each other, so be sure to check it out. And this really plays off the 3D of the film as well. I'm sure it's going to be spectacular.
It's a very interesting choice for them to make in the teaser.
Now I'm going to scroll back right here. It's here's a first shot of the web shooter in action, and you can clearly see that it's a mechanical web shooter.
Yep.
So there's no questions about that. But if we kind of frame by frame back, check it out. You see that black pad? It looks like that's the press pad, right?
Yep. This is a
Boom.
trigger for his webs.
He hits it, and there goes the webbing. Pretty sweet.
And then coming up, we get our first clear shot of him in full costume, jumping Spidey style.
Check out the silver boots. Remember when we did our suit analysis, which is another video you can check out on the site, we weren't sure if those were just kind of like tennis shoes that he was using to run around in, and then they were going to CG over it. But no, it actually looks like it's part of the costume.
Yep. It's pretty cool.
So there you have it. I'm sure we're going to get a much longer trailer soon, but I don't know. I'm pretty psyched for this one.
Me too.